All the time of our mother with her young is short, but under the dominion of man, it is sometimes even shorter. Thus, it was with White Fang. White Fang saw his mother taken aboard. This is about a young wolf who is taken from his mother and put through the ringer. But during this process, and what he thinks is the end for him, peace knocks on the door and pulls him to safety. In this peace talk, keep pushing forward. We are taught that no matter what you're being put through, just keep fighting. It'll be worth it in the end. Originated from Jack London Tao of White Fang. All the young dogs joined lip in the persecution declared against White Fang. One and all, from time to time, they felt his teeth, and to his credit, he gave more than he received. Many of them he could whip in a single fight, but a single fight was denied him. He learned two important things: how to take care of himself in a match fight against him, and how, on a single dog, to inflict the greatest amount of damage in the briefest space of time. He learned to give no warning of his intention. He learned to inflict quick and severe damage. White Fang was hated by dog, but also by man. The tooth of every dog was against him, just as the hand of every man. He lived tensely. He was always keyed up, alert for attack, or being attacked, prepared to leap in with a flash of teeth, or leap away with a menacing snarl. He was morose and solitary, having nothing to do with the other dogs. He was unusually fitted to guard his master's property, and this he was encouraged and trained. One result of this was to make White Fang more ferocious and indomitable, and more solitary. The ones went by, finding strong and stronger the covenant between dog and man. There was no escaping it. He was becoming more companionable, more solitary. While the dogs were learning more and more, it was better to be at peace with him than at war. White Fang enjoyed it all. At first, the killing of the white man's dog had been a diversion. After a time, it became his occupation. Beauty Smith was a monstrosity. The blame of it lay elsewhere. This was the man that looked at White Fang, delighted in his ferocious prowess, and desired to possess him. White Fang began by ignoring him. Later on, when the overtures became more insistent, White Fang bristled and bared his teeth and backed away. He did not like the man. Once, the man pointed at him, and White Fang snarled back as though the hand were just descending upon him. Grey Beaver refused to sell the dog. Besides, White Fang was a valuable animal, the best sled dog he had ever owned, and the best leader. There was no dog like him. He could fight. He killed other dogs as easily as men killed mosquitoes. No, White Fang was not for sale at any price. Beauty Smith had talked to Grey Beaver again about the sale of White Fang, but this time the price was in bottles, not dollars. Grey Beaver's ears were more eager to hear. The end of the leash was handed over to Beauty Smith. He started to walk away. The leash became taut. White Fang resisted it. At the fort, Beauty Smith left him securely tied and went to bed. White Fang waited for an hour, then applied his teeth to the rope. In the space of 10 seconds, he was free. He turned and trotted back towards Grey Beaver's camp, where he considered he still belonged. In the morning, he was turned over to Beauty Smith. Formerly, White Fang had been merely the enemy of his kind, a ferocious enemy. He now became the enemy of all things, and more ferocious than ever. Beauty Smith had a purpose in all that he did to White Fang. Beauty Smith entered, club in hand, took the chain from White Fang's neck, and stepped back. White Fang turned loose and tore around the pen. The door of the pen was opened again. White Fang paused. Something unusual was happening. The door was opened wider. A huge dog was thrust inside, and the door slammed shut. He leaped in with a flash of fangs that ripped down the side of the mastiff's neck. The mastiff shook his head, growled hoarsely. But White Fang was here, there, everywhere. White Fang came to look forward eagerly to the gathering of men around his pen. It meant to fight, tormented, incited to take. He was kept a prisoner. Another day, 2 dogs were set against him at the same time. This was his severest fight, and although in the end he killed them both, he himself was half killed doing it. White Fang had now achieved a reputation in the land as the fighting wolf. He was known far and wide, and the cage was usually surrounded by curious men. Beauty Smith slipped the chain from his neck and stepped back. For once, White Fang did not make an immediate attack. He stood still, ears pricked forward, alert and curious, surveying the strange dog that faced him. He had never seen such a dog before. The bulldog, Cherokee, did not seem anxious to fight. The end of each movement was the accent of the rhythm, the movement ending abruptly and the growling rising with a jerk. Then, White Fang struck. The bulldog was bleeding from a rip from behind the ear and in his thick neck. He gave no sign, did not even snarl, but turned and ran towards White Fang. Time went by. White Fang still ran on, dodging and doubling, leaping in and out, and ever inflicting damage, while he struck with such force that carried his momentum across over the other's body. For the first time in fighting history, men saw White Fang lose his footing. In that instant, Cherokee's teeth closed on his throat. White Fang sprang to his feet and tore wildly around the pen. There was no escaping that grip. Slowly, it shifted up along the jugular. White Fang struggled vainly to shake off the clinging death. When Beauty Smith saw White Fang's eyes begin to glaze, he knew beyond doubt the fight was lost. He sprang upon White Fang and began savagely to kick him. A tall young newcomer was forcing his way through. When he broke through into the ring, Beauty Smith was just in the act of delivering another kick. At that moment, the newcomer's fist landed a smashing blow full in his face. Later on, they make it back to the man's cabin after he took White Fang away from him.